Good afternoon, this is Anne from Body Gallery. Today I would like to show you how I actually just make some feather flowers. I have made a few that I need to put on some fascinator hats. I've almost run out of feathers because we're in lockdown in Melbourne. But what I basically do is I'll make a base for the feathered flowers, and I will put it on another heavier base to make a fascinator. So what I usually do is I'll put it on a softer piece of felt or a piece of material, lay my feathers out for what I need as a larger area before I put my flower on top of it. Or, you know, if you want to make a ribbon flower or something like that, you can put that on there as well. So I've made a couple, and as I said, I've run out of feathers, so I've come to a stop at the moment basically. But I started making a little base in pink, which I'll have to buy some more flowers for pink to actually finish this flower back off. But I made this one earlier today. I'll probably take this away so that you can actually see. I don't really know what feathers they were. I bought these about a year ago, and I think I got them in Spotlight. I'm not even sure. When I was looking for something else, I noticed the colour, and I really like it. It's a nice burgundy type colour. So I actually did a little flower this morning. I probably will do some more feathers into this to fill it out a little bit, or maybe I'll just do some pearls or something inside. I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. I'm not sure even if I want to put it onto this or not. But basically that's what I'm going to show you today, is how to make that kind of flower. And hopefully I don't run out of feathers too much. As I said, I'm really low in feathers, but I will start to do that. I have sorted out, unfortunately I thought I already started the video earlier when I was sorting the feathers out, but I obviously didn't, so I've already sorted my feathers out into sizes. Again, I don't know what these feathers are. Excuse me. But they were quite nice. They're like a light amber type colour. And I thought I could do something with them when I saw them. And I think the time is now, because I've just about finished everything else. So I sorted out the size. And now I'm going to actually start to do the shaping of the flower. I don't know, with these small ones, I sometimes will actually give them a shape before I put it on the larger flowers, but when they do the smaller ones, I find that I don't want to do a shape on the feather before I put it on here, and I'll usually shape it afterwards, just so that I know where it's sitting and how it's going. As I said, all the bases are a soft base. Sometimes I'll just do a material. Sometimes I'll do a felt that's a little bit firmer, so that it'll hold in a different way. Sometimes a piece of material in between. This is firm material, but it's not too firm. Really easy. Just scrap material. I always try and get something really thick as far as the material, even though it's pliable. Give yourself a circle, square, whatever you want, but I always generally go with circles, or ovals. Sometimes I'll do ovals as well. Depends what I'm doing. Just do into a circle. A little bit out that way. That's it. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but as long as the general shape is there. And you got your little circles. All right, so what I've done here is, this is just a bit of almost like foam, but it's, I don't know what it's called. I found it in some packing that my children had for some piece of toy or something they had. Just centralize it with a pin just to keep it steady. You don't have to, I suppose, if you don't want to, but that's what I do. Not too tight. I've just made that too tight, but yeah, not too tight. And just start to build. I've started off with the crosses, and then I'll actually just start to fill in between. Taking off the little fluffy bit. All right, and I'll put that aside because later on when I'm inside the flower more, sometimes I can use that to do a little bit of a filler. So just the tiniest little bit of glue, and just start to fill in between. These are all the larger feathers with the longer pieces at the top, so it's quite nice to start the base of the feather. And spinning it around, just spin it around as you want. I don't know where my little tool is that I had with a bit of Teflon fibre on it. I don't know where I've put it, but usually I use a little tool. It's just like a pencil with a bit of the fibre on the end of it, just so that my finger doesn't keep getting glue on it. But unfortunately I can't find it. I don't know where I've put it down, or maybe I've even got it in the other shed, I'm not sure. But I couldn't be bothered going out there because it's really, really wet today and really cold. So I'm not even going to attempt it to go out there. And so basically there's your base. Right, and then you just start to fill in more and more of your feathers. It's a little bit crinkled, so I'm just going to twist it around. Pop some of that on. And there's another little fluffy feather I'll take off. I don't use much glue, but just enough for it to stick. I mean, the feathers aren't that heavy, so you don't really need that much glue. It's a little feathery bit. The only problem is when you don't have the stick, you keep having to take glue off your fingers. Just make sure that you're putting the glue on the back of your feather so that you can, when it's time to give it a little bit of a kink for your flower, that you're not going backwards on the stem. I should pull that forward just a little tiny bit. it's so blowy outside. My little art shed, and got the heater on, and I'm quite cozy in here. I just don't like the idea of going outside in the backyard. Oh, my finger. Okay. Yeah. So it's starting to build up quite nicely. Now that's all my larger feathers. Now I'll go to the next size down, which is all of these ones here, and go in between each feather again. I'll start with the larger type, slimmer ones first. Actually, it's not too bad a colour, this. I actually quite like the little goldy sort of colour that's with it. I think it'd go nice with maybe the black feathers hat base that I've done, if I've got enough feathers to do a full. One. So, yeah, it's coming up quite nicely. If I don't have enough feathers for this one, well then I might have to try and find the same feathers again to try and fill it in more. But, oh, that was alright, stay. But hopefully I've got enough to do at least one flower. Right. A few more on this side. Get rid of that little fluffy bit. starting to build very nicely. I'll just make whatever's left of here just evenly now that it's all about the same amount, but I'll just go through and just pop in evenly through it so that I can go to the next layer, which is a little bit smaller. Well, that stuck to my finger more than it stuck inside. Okay. Do you again. Stay. Get this off my finger, will be right. One more. Let's put it in the same spot because it was very fine, that last one. Alright. Now it's time for the next level of flowers, feathers for the flower. So, yeah, I think this one. So I'll spread it out. Now in this section you can curl it just a little bit, because it becomes a little tiny bit more problematic trying to curl once you've finished your flower on this section. So you can curl it just a little bit. I have this is an old oyster opening knife, but it's really blunt, and it's quite nice for just curving your piece. And you can do it as hard or as soft as you want, and it's a nice little piece of equipment. I used to have a normal blunt knife, like a butter knife type thing, but I found that's actually quite nice because the shape of the handle to hold. So if you actually curl it just that little bit before you put those ones in, it just becomes less problematic to you, because all these other ones you can curl a little bit once you've finished. but I never usually curl before I do it when I sort out the particular feathers, because I just don't know how much curl I'll need until I'm actually making the flower, because they're pretty organic. So it's really quite nice. Yeah. See how it's going. And then later on I'll just curl, you know, a little bit here and a little bit there through the edging. Curled it a little bit too much. It's better. Oh yes, it is starting to look very nice. Better curl that, shouldn't I? So, just a little bit of a curl. So, yeah, just enough to give it a little bit of a curve as it starts to build into the middle of your flower. This one's got a natural curl to it, so I won't put much. I'll just put a little bit here. Oh yes, that's starting to have a nice little cup area. And too much. And now, in between everything that I've already laid down, I'd have a mouthful of my coffee. Oh, it's almost cold. It's a bit yuck. Oh, I did forget to curve that. So I'll put this in here and then I'll get back in there and curve it. That was really silly of me. Perfect. because the wind has been blowing heaps, I've been coughing a lot and sneezing a lot. I have no idea what's being carried around in the air lately. It's not very nice, whatever it is. Maybe it's just a lot of dust. Forget this. Turn it around. That little tiny bit. So nice. So cute. So it's becoming fuller and fuller. And yes, I will have enough feathers. I thought maybe I wouldn't, but I do have. There's still another small pile of little, not much smaller than those, but a little bit smaller. Thought that might break. I can go for the center. Now you could stop at this point and actually put some embellishment inside, but I'm going to keep going and make a little formation that'll actually fold in on itself. So I'm going to do one more round of feathers for the flower, and then I will start to make it a little bit more curved. Little webby things. So now I'm going to make it a little bit more curved as such. I'm just doing it really, really gentle so that I can get the curve that I want, and not overdo it before I realize it. Glue is hot. little bit more of the inside. Yes, just becoming that. As I said, you could stay at this level now, or you can just keep going, and I'm going to keep going. And it won't be too much more before I put in too much more of them, because it's just starting to get to that real curve section. I want a few shorter ones now. Nice little curve. Wow, that's a really tiny little feather. Okay, maybe this one. The others are a little bit longer than what I need, so I'm going to start using all the shorter ones now. I could cut them off, but I don't really want to. I'm going to take those away from me here. Little fluffy one in there. So, backing. I do the same sort of arrangements with peacock feathers as well, but you need to find the smaller eyed ones so that you can get that nice curl as well. And it doesn't take too many to actually make a flower with the peacock feathers, but they do look very pretty. Spread that out. just go downhill and I can't get it out. Oops. I'm going to end up stabbing myself. Let me get a little pair of pliers to it to push it through. Come here. I think there was a piece of glue that got stuck on it. Yeah, I should have noticed it before, but I didn't. I have to be really careful. I'll try again. That'll do. I got it. Now I'll just pop it back in here without it going to get stuck. Hopefully I don't stick it again. Alright, a little fluffy one. Really curved. Real nice curve to that one. I've almost finished this. I'll come here. As far as the middle section, I might put just a couple more in, and then I will be finished for what I need here. And then maybe as I said, I don't really know what I want to do with it. Might put it with that black feather area at the base of the hat. I'm just not sure yet. As I said, this is just the last bit of, basically the only feathers that I've got left. I've been making a lot of fascinators, and I've used a lot of feathers for the fascinators, and I don't know, people have been buying them off me for the races that are coming up, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. So hopefully, if the races don't happen, that people at least have parties so they can wear them, because it would be such a shame to not have worn what they've bought. But we will see. This year has not been the best year for anybody in the world, I suppose. So hopefully towards the end of this year it's a little bit more joy for people. Okay, so basically that's all I'm going to do for that one. And that makes a really, really nice size flower. It looks a little bit bird nesty at the moment, but what you can do now is to, whatever you want as far as layers, is to actually go in and give that bit of a curve if you want. If you like the look that it's a little bit flatter, yep, not a problem. Put too much cool in that. I'll just take a little bit of that cool out. I'm going to leave the base bit that I put the first base down so that it's a little bit flatter, so whatever I put it on will actually sit. And I can even go backwards and make it curve that way a little bit as well. So it just depends where I want to put it, or what I want to use it for. But I think I'll put it on those black flowers, the black base for the flower. Anyway, thank you for watching the making of a feathered flower, and hopefully you have a nice rest of the day. You can have an embellishment within here as well if you wish. Just play around, have fun, and enjoy your day. Bye.